Hello BB. Otega Oweh gives an update on his toe injury, similar to the one suffered by Bengals QB Joe Burrow. But don't panic, the injury is a minor one, and there's good news for the Bengals. Otega Oweh, one of the top prospects on Coach Mark Pope's roster, faced a setback during summer training camp. But the update on his toe injury offers reason for optimism and confidence about the team's future. The player, who was absent during the final moments of training camp, revealed details about his condition in a recent interview with Field of 68. Diagnosed as a toe contusion on the field, initially sparked concern due to its similarity to the serious injury suffered by Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow. However, unlike Burrow's case, which required surgery and a lengthy recovery period, Oweh's situation is significantly less serious. This certainly serves as a sigh of relief for Kentucky fans, who were already beginning to fear the impact of his absence on the team's preparation for the regular season. When discussing his condition, Oweh demonstrated maturity and calm, emphasizing that he is under expert medical care. He even contacted the renowned Dr. Robert Anderson, the same professional who recently treated Joe Burrow. This decision reinforces the university's commitment to ensuring its athletes receive cutting-edge treatment to return to full fitness. According to the player himself, he is expected to recover in about 2 weeks, which minimizes downtime and limits the impact on fall training, which is currently underway, although Oweh will need to temporarily step away from the court. He is expected to return to training before Big Blue Madness, scheduled for October 11th. This event, which traditionally marks the official start of the Kentucky basketball season, is always surrounded by anticipation and celebration. For fans, the possibility of seeing Oweh back in action during this symbolic moment would be a huge emotional and strategic boost for the team. The way this situation was handled is also noteworthy. Under Mark Pope's leadership, Kentucky basketball has demonstrated not only technical excellence, but also a caring and compassionate approach to treating its athletes. Since his arrival, Pope has emphasized the importance of building a culture of resilience and unity within the squad, and the way the team and its supporters have handled Oweh's injury reflects this. Instead of panic or excessive speculation, there has been transparency and a clear plan of action, which further strengthens confidence in the program's management. Furthermore, it is worth noting that Oweh himself has demonstrated a resilient spirit in the face of challenges. Injuries are an inevitable part of the sport, especially at a level as competitive as college basketball. But the player's positive and proactive approach is a testament to his character and determination. His quick recovery not only benefits Kentucky technically, but also serves as an example to his teammates of how to face adversity with courage and discipline. As Oweh prepares to return, the rest of the squad continues to work hard in fall training, shaping the team's identity for the upcoming season. With Mark Pope at the helm, Kentucky has everything it takes to become a dominant force again, combining individual talent with refined collective tactics. And when Otega Oweh is back in full form, he will certainly be a key player in this quest for glory, as BBN eagerly awaits the young star's return. The message is clear: there is no cause for alarm. On the contrary, the way this situation is being handled is a reflection of the professionalism and competence that have guided the Kentucky basketball program in recent years. Let's move forward. Mark Pope's leadership of the second year of his tenure has been remarkable. The presence of Field of 68 in Lexington, with nearly 2 hours of live coverage of the practice, served as a showcase for a renewed team and, more importantly, an environment that exudes confidence and organization. For fans, it was a rare opportunity to observe the inner workings of a group seeking to translate talent into concrete results when the season begins. The contrast from last year was evident in the players' testimonies. Colin Chandler, for example, emphasized that the transition is now much more fluid, without the typical noise of a newly formed roster and staff. This sense of stability is crucial, as a team that finds clarity in roles and practice routines gains ground and consistency, a trait that was lacking at crucial moments in the previous cycle. Chandler also highlighted the performance of Calm Williams, who was able to hit 10 consecutive three-pointers in a single practice. More than just an anecdote, the episode suggests that Pope is succeeding in instilling confidence and rhythm among his players. The young players were also key players. Jasper Johnson drew attention when he revealed his physical gains during the offseason, reaching 86 kilograms, 186 pounds, after specific nutrition and conditioning training guided by the coaching staff. It's the kind of detail that shows how Pope views basketball globally, preparing not only the tactical aspects but also the physical and mental foundations of his players. Brandon Garrison, on a lighter note, shared aspects of his personal life, discussing his experience of fatherhood, something that humanizes the squad and adds a new dimension to the team atmosphere. Among the surprises highlighted by teammates, Denzel Aberdeen's name came up strongly. The point guard, from Florida, was described by Jalen Lowe as incredible in his recent practices, to the point of being considered a key player for the season. This depth, repeatedly cited by players, is perhaps Kentucky's greatest asset in 2025, to the point where a platoon-style rotation is even being considered, a sign that there's more quality available than space on the court. Injuries, always a topic of concern, also surfaced. Otega Oweh, named SEC Player of the Year in the preseason, reassured fans by explaining that his toe injury should only keep him out for 2 weeks, as previously mentioned. Freshman Jaden Quaintance is making progress in his recovery from knee surgery, and Pope reinforced the need for patience, even acknowledging that the 17-year-old has exceeded expectations in his rehabilitation tests. The coach's attention to these details demonstrates a long-term vision, avoiding rash risks in exchange for immediate results. The coverage also brought moments of relaxation. Pope made a point of joking with Pat Kelsey, the coach of Louisville, the program's historic rival, and even revealed that he was close to taking over at Arizona in 2021, before arriving at Kentucky. These statements reveal a coach at ease, aware of the responsibility he carries, but also comfortable assuming the leadership role the position demands. On the technical side, practices revealed interesting innovations. Even the centers were seen practicing ball control, breaking away from the stereotype of a game restricted to the paint. This type of exercise indicates that Pope is committed to versatility, something increasingly necessary in modern basketball, where traditional positions blend and the game flows more dynamically. The image conveyed was of a deep, disciplined, motivated, and, above all, united team. Pope managed to transform the practice into a spectacle, but without losing the character of serious work that projects real growth. The program exudes optimism, and fans can envision a season where individual talent combines with a culture of the hottest. A strange case in the SEC. College football is entering a new era, shaped by flexible regulations, unlimited transfers, and now, legal disputes that challenge the limits of the traditional system. At the center of this transformation is Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, whose trajectory has not only redefined expectations on the field but also raised intriguing questions about the future of the sport off it. At 24, Pavia is already an unusual phenomenon, a player who seems determined to extend his college career to the fullest. Even when the door to the NFL seems closed, Pavia's story transcends the playing field. He is not just another talented player who emerged from the shadows of obscurity to become a star in the SEC. He is a symbol of how modern rules are being reinterpreted and shaped by athletes and their representatives. After an unprecedented court victory last year that granted him eligibility to play in 2025, Pavia is now aiming for something even more extraordinary, a 7th season in college football. If this sounds unusual, it's because it is. Never before has a player attempted or even considered extending his college career as much as Pavia plans to do. The legal basis for this move lies in a creative interpretation of antitrust laws. Pavia's attorney argues that the NCAA's rule on junior athlete eligibility violates these laws, paving the way for his client to play an extra year beyond the traditional limit. While other athletes have attempted similar lawsuits and failed, Pavia has already proven himself to be an exception to the rule. He won once, and now seems willing to bet that he can win again. But what motivates this relentless pursuit of another year in college football? For many, the obvious answer would be financial. Pavia, who has already accumulated at least $2 million this season, thanks to commercial agreements and NIL partnerships, certainly has a lot to gain from another year in the college ranks. While his chances in the NFL draft seem remote, staying in college means maintaining the revenue stream that only increases as his popularity grows. And, of course, there's the personal prestige. Being the first player to compete for 7 seasons at the college level would be a historic feat, one that would guarantee Pavia a permanent place in the record books. However, Pavia's ambition goes beyond money. He's at the peak of his college career, leading Vanderbilt to a stunning start in 2025 and putting himself in the conversation for the Heisman Trophy. Would he really pass up this opportunity to solidify his legacy as one of the greatest players in conference history? The idea of returning to the field in 2026, at age 25, doesn't seem so far-fetched when you consider the impact he could have. Furthermore, Pavia has demonstrated a unique connection with Vanderbilt, transforming the Commodores into a respectable force in the SEC and winning over fans who never imagined seeing their team in such a position. Pavia's case also reflects the profound changes college football is facing. The NIL era brought new dynamics to the sport, allowing players to capitalize on their fame while still in high school. At the same time, liberalized transfer rules allowed athletes like Pavia to find programs where they could thrive. Now, with legal disputes like this, the very concept of eligibility is being questioned. What was once seen as a rigid limit for years of eligibility, 5 with the red shirt rule, is being challenged like never before. Of course, not everyone sees this scenario favorably. Critics argue that cases like Pavia's distort the essence of college sports, transforming it into a professionalized extension that benefits only a minority of athletes. There are concerns that this sets a dangerous precedent, opening the door to more lawsuits and potentially weakening the NCAA's regulatory framework. After all, if Pavia can play for 7 seasons, why can't others? Despite these criticisms, it's hard to deny the fascination that Pavia's case holds. He's a player who not only defies convention but also redefines what's possible within the system. If he can return in 2026, it will be a historic milestone and a reminder that college football is far from a static sport. It's a living, breathing organism, constantly evolving, shaped by forces far beyond what happens between the sidelines. Hey, as a Kentucky native, what do you think about this? Let us know.